Welcome back to Wild About Gear. Today I'm delighted to share with you a little story about one of my favorite knives. Now, before I was introduced to this knife, one of the things I never realized was the sheer brute strength and brute appeal of this blade. I will of course show you the size and scale in a minute. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is a Spyderco Militant. Let's take it out and let me show you what I mean when I say brute strength and brute appeal. Let me put these two away. This is a big knife. Now, I would urge you, whoever's watching this, and if you're interested in this knife, to go and actually check it out in physical shape and size. Because what happens is that when you see this and you watch this on video, on YouTube, you really have no idea how big this is. Not only is it big, it has a sense of just raw power and raw strength that I have rarely found in knives. And I have quite a few of them. I've viewed many of them in my life and I've enjoyed them. But this one is incredibly big and powerful and hulky and hoary. It has a sense of arrival every time you pull it out of your pocket. Irrespective of where you take it, people will look at you if you pull this out of your pocket and open it. So quick ergonomics. This of course is in the digital camo. You can see this is a beautiful grippy texture G10. I just love the ergonomics of this blade and the handle in specific. It has this big pin. You can see really big pin, and one of the key things that does, it gives a lot of strength to this blade. Very big lanyard hole here at the end, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see this, this G10 textured handle has no liners, has absolutely no liners, which means that this is a very light knife. For the size, this only weighs about 120 odd grams. Now that is amazing weight for this size and this effectiveness and this amount of capability. What I also love is the sheer ergonomics. So it's a big blade, as you can see, but because of the way in which the handles have been cut, it actually is very ergonomic in your pocket. It sits almost in one plane inside your pocket, and you will never have this kind of jangling around in your base of your pocket. That's the other thing I really like about it, is the sheer ergonomics of this blade. Enough waiting. Let us open this. You'll see that this thumb hole is much larger than any of the other Spydercos that you would use. It really is very big, and that's, I think, the reason for that is because in case you're using gloves, it's much easier to open. You saw that? You saw how easy it is to flick it open with the thumb? Amazing speed of deployment. Now let me show you what I mean by size. Ladies and gentlemen, just look at this beast. This is a 4-inch blade. 4 inches. 4-inch blade of S30V, and not only is it 4 inches, I hope you can see just how thick this is. It's a 4-inch and thick slab of S30V stainless steel. Made in Golden, Colorado in the US. In addition, let me give you an example of what I mean by size. This is the Mora Robust. It's one of my favorite camping knives. And you can see that the Spyderco Military, almost when it's open, dwarfs the Mora Robust. Now that is big. Okay, fine, let's show you another one. Cold Steel Roach Belly. And one of my favorite knives, right? Here, see? Just look at the size and scale of this thing. The Spyderco military will put most of your reasonably mid-sized fixed blades to shame. Really, I mean, look at the size of this, right? Let's compare it to two of its little brother, the Spyderco paramilitary 2, and you see how much smaller this is and how much bigger this is. We shall review this one a little later. This is a special knife as well, the Spyderco paramilitary 2. Compare it to the Spyderco Delica. Now this, trust me, I love the Delica. I think it's one of the most beautiful blades that I have ever had. But look at how much smaller the Delica is to the military. So back to the Spyderco military, and let's have a conversation on this. What I love about it, first of all, double choils. Did I say double choils again? Oh, yes. So you have one choil here, and then if you want, you can also choke up and do fine tasks. And I just love that capability in a knife, to do that. Liner lock, very, very strong liner lock, and there is absolutely no side-to-side up and down play in this knife. Absolutely none. Open pillar construction, which means that if something gets inside this, you can clean it out very, very quickly. Very easily, very quickly, very easy to clean. You can see the G10 handle slabs, and there are really slabs. I mean, this is so thick and so strong. You cannot imagine this till you hold it in your hand. The G10 slabs are great and very, very nice and textured. This knife will not slip out of your hand, right? And 4-inch blade, great blade for great capability. Now, the clip, as you can see, is only tip-up carry. That's if there is a criticism of this knife, and I'm sure there is very little to criticize about this blade. It's only this, that I can only use it for tip-up carry. There is no other place I can affix this this clip. The clip itself is very, very strong and very positively reinforces against your trouser pocket. So there is absolutely no reason to feel uncomfortable. But as I said, tip-up carry. I like my knives with tip-down carry. Very, very positive locking. You can see that there's jimping under the knife. There is jimping here on the spine of the knife. So between the two, you have a very, very strong hand lock, and this knife isn't going anywhere in your hand. Now, what can you use this knife for? Well, strangely enough, this is I mean, I know it is called the military, and the connotation of this being useful in for armed forces, army man, navy man, special forces operative, all that is fine. But truly, this is a great camping knife. This is a great kitchen knife too. Surprised? Well, just look at this blade design. Just look at how beautiful it is. Modified clip point, and you also have this beautiful belly. To give you an example, look at how similar it is to the roach belly. And I'm telling you, the roach belly is a fantastic camp knife and a great camp cooking knife and kitchen knife. It almost looks like a kitchen knife. You can actually choke up on it and cut things. Very similar to this. You can choke up on this knife right up here, and you can use it as a very, very nice kitchen knife. I know some of you will get very upset for me calling the Spyderco military a kitchen knife. But guess what? It excels in that role. It absolutely excels in that role. And of course, for all the tactical people, there is a great tactical knife. But I just enjoy the knife and carry it. Now, this is a 5.5-inch handle. Now, I have moderately sized hands. I don't have very small hands, nor do I have very big hands. It's a 5.5-inch handle, and the advantage of that is that it really allows you a lot of capability. You can choke up on this knife. You can choke down on this knife. I don't know if you realize it, but you can use this as choke down, and you can use it almost like a pinch cut. to cut foliage. I mean, if you're in the jungle with this, or if you're in the camping with this, if you want to cut small leaves, branches out of your way, you can actually use it like a mini machete, right? And use the pinch cut here, use it, hold it like this, and use it as a pinch cutter, or hold it like this, simple. And you can clear your way through foliage if you want. Now this blade is a full flat grind. Now what that means is all the material comes down straight from here, and there is no secondary bevel. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife, and what that does, it's a beautiful slicer, great slicer. The other thing I like about this is because the size of the knife, size of the steel here, I can actually choke up on it and use it for pull cuts. Oh, I know about the fact that pull cuts are dangerous. We shouldn't get the knife towards ourselves, but sometimes they're necessary. And if there was a knife I would use it with, this is the one. Very, very nice for pull cuts. You can remove the handle slabs, as you can see, and clean them. Fantastic idea. I personally have never done that, never needed to. It cleans up quite easily as it is. You can also see that I know for a fact that this this thumb hole here is very, very ergonomic. You can see it. You can see just how much of your thumb actually goes inside it. So there is no way in which that if you're deploying this, there's no way in which that you can hurt yourself, right? And at the same time, I've heard a lot of criticism that the fact is that the tip of this knife is not very strong. I actually differ on that. I think the tip of the knife is pretty strong. Look at the way in which, how thick the knife is, and how much it retains its thickness till the very end. Yes, of course, if you abuse this knife, you will have a problem with the tip. It is a fine tip. It's almost like a needle, but it's also an extremely strong tip. So if you need to remove splinters from your hand, you want to do some fine carving work, this is a handy knife to have. All in all, I love the Spyderco Military. It's one of my favorite knives. It has character. It has immense presence the moment you pull it out and show it to someone. It is intimidating. It's big, but at the same time, it's extremely light, 120 odd grams. Very, very versatile. And I'm sure that if you are going for a big folding knife, this is probably the knife for you. Thank you from Wild About Gear. If you like our channel, subscribe to us. We'll be happy to have you around, and your comments are welcome. Thank you so much. Look forward to you on the next video. Bye.